champions, by the way.
Absolute shambles.
Club
from you
world
lot.
champions.
Shambles from you lot. What's happened to Chelsea?
What do you mean, what's happened to Chelsea?
What's happened to Chelsea?
Let me look at the league table.
Hold on.
Let's just have a look.
Let's have it right. Right? Let's
Oh,
have
no,
it
no,
right.
no, hold on 1 second. Just fifth.
No, I don't care you're fifth.
Disappointing.
I don't care you're fifth.
Disappointing.
Right? You've sacked your manager.
No, we didn't sack him.
Well, he's walked because
well,
whatever
yes,
what's happened, he's gone.
Okay.
Maresca's gone.
We have parted company.
Oh, party.
No, just saying, just use the right terminology.
Parted company. What a load of old.
Parted
He
company,
wanted
mate.
to leave. You
Yeah,
wanted him
maybe.
out because you want a yes man in charge.
Yeah.
What has happened to your club? What has happened? You're an absolute shambles.
Well, it's not been a good week. I'm going to give you that.
Good week.
It's not been. In fact, it's not been a good month. In fact, it's been a terrible month. We went into December actually really buoyed, and we've been terrible in December, mate. And it's ended up with Maresca going from December the 12th being named manager of the month from November. 3 weeks later, he's parted company. only at Chelsea could this happen, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're a basket case of a football club, but you have been for a long time. But this just feels Chelsea fans are not happy, right? They are not happy with what's going on at the football club. And it does feel like a bit of a mess, Chase. I know there's a project and a way they want to do things, and I get that, but this just feels so messy.
Well, it is a mess. You know, as soon as a manager goes, it's always going to be a mess. You know, that you don't want, especially halfway through the season, and it's unravelled. Well, from what we can see on the outside, it's unravelled very, very quickly. But if you do a deeper dive, if you do some of the research and look at articles and so on and so forth, this has been happening for quite some time, and it's been unravelling, but it feels like it's unravelled so quickly and so dramatically that, as I said, we've gone from beating Barcelona, being the better side against Arsenal, by the way, and I was disappointed with the draw. And then you go into December, Leeds away was a disaster team selection, which if you now has been transpired that maybe he's had to pick a team based on what the medical team have advised him and told him to do. And he go out to Bournemouth, you're like, oh my God. And then the Everton, and then after the Everton game, then you hear the comments. I mean, in between that was Atalanta. That was Atalanta. I think it was Atalanta. And then but the results and performances have not been good enough, mate. I can't dress it up. It's been a disaster of a December. Everton, we win 2-0. And then he comes out with the 48 hours, the worst 48 hours of my life at Chelsea. And then you're thinking, why's he come out and said that? Well, then you fast forward. That was week before Christmas. You go another 2.5 weeks ahead and he's gone. So there's been lots going on behind the scenes. He's not happy. He didn't do the presser the other day when we coming off the game against Bournemouth. He was ill, apparently. Apparently he wasn't.
No.
And it's we are where we are, I'm afraid.
And just on Chelsea, Maresca, he's lost his job. Just a little insight on what happened there and what they're going to do going forward.
Yeah, this is a classic two sides. We'll come on to that in a moment. So going forwards, Liam Rosenior is expected to become the new Chelsea manager from Strasbourg. They're playing Nice whilst we're speaking. Because Bluco own both Strasbourg and Chelsea, it's about finding a plan for Strasbourg and Chelsea. The Rosenior part is expected to be smooth because he wants the job and more broadly for non-footballing reasons, I'm told, to return to England. But Strasbourg have to get a coach in because there's going to be an almighty uproar in France, probably regardless, but definitely if they take Rosenior and don't have a plan. And Mark Kelleher, who's the Strasbourg president, is going to play a big role in pacifying that fan base over there. Then in terms of Maresca, kind of two sides here. So Chelsea's position is Maresca left by mutual consent. Results were not good enough. 1 win in 7 Premier League games. There was a dispute specifically between Maresca and the medical department, with Maresca wanting more out of returning players from injury. And yet Chelsea's medical department is autonomous and independent, specifically with injured or returning players. So if they say Reece James can't play this week or can only play an hour, the manager has to bow to that decision because it's about workload and welfare. Whereas from Maresca's point of view, Chelsea felt that he was just going off book and ultimately picking players and playing them for longer. But the Maresca side is slightly different. The argument from sources close to the former Chelsea boss is it was more than just the medical department. He felt he wasn't protected. He didn't like the fact that Ruben Amorim's under pressure. So Jim Ratcliffe comes out and he says, 3 years, that's what I want to judge Amorim by. Maresca didn't get any public vote of confidence. Chelsea would counter that and say he was in trouble a year ago. He wasn't sacked. He had a 5-year contract and so on. But Maresca didn't feel he was protected. And Maresca felt that the interference in team selection extended beyond the medical department. And it was actually about giving young players minutes to raise their value, because that's the Chelsea project. So in the end, they've parted ways. Those close to Maresca are adamant that he resigned, that he drove this, that he quit, that he wasn't sick after the Bournemouth draw, and then he wanted to leave. Those on the Chelsea side counter that quite categorically and say that it was a decision that they drove. Either way, it was in the best interest of all parties to sort out the situation promptly, and now everybody moves forwards. Maresca's reputation has risen, and he no doubt will get another job. We know he's linked with both Manchester City and Juventus. And from the perspective of Chelsea, they'll feel that Liam Rosenior is a project fit because, of course, he's already been working at Strasbourg.
And also, the Strasbourg, the Blue Co, it feels the natural progression. But from my understanding is that he has been playing the same system, the same way. This is the Blue Co way. As with Callum McFarlane as well, playing a 4-2-3-1. That's exactly what he does as well. So, and he knows the owners, right? This is not like you're plucking someone from French football. He works with and for the same organisation, if you like, which is Blue Co.
Yeah, and you've got plenty of synergy as well. Emiga's going to be arriving at Chelsea. Liam Rosenior was obviously managing him at Strasbourg. Andre Santos spent a year there. He's back at Chelsea as well. Penders, same style, same philosophy, same role as a head coach within the model. So Chelsea will have no concerns that Rosenior is going to go off book. And a good talker, handles the media well. I think an underrated point in all of this from Chelsea's perspective, Maresca may have other opinions, but if you take the football and the critical strategic issues out of it, one of Chelsea's bugbears is if the manager's got an issue, challenge it and aggressively, because that's quite healthy in private, but don't air your dirty laundry.
Basically, all right, you can say all this, guff to me about Liam Rosenior, all right, and all this nonsense about Strasbourg and Chelsea and organisations and all this absolute garbage. Chelsea are not Strasbourg. Chelsea are one of the biggest clubs in the world. Liam Rosenior is not a Chelsea manager. All right, he's not ready to take that step up. They're bringing him in because they want a yes man. Chelsea fans, they're not going to get behind this. They're not going to listen to all this old guff that you're giving me about, oh yeah, he plays the same formation, he plays the same system, blah blah blah. Everyone plays 4-2-3-1. We're talking about Chelsea here, who have had Mourinho, who've had Conte, who've had Ancelotti, who've had Thomas Tuchel, and now you're going to bring in Liam Rosenior. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. It's a load of old rubbish, right? Because they want to bring in a yes man, and Maresca's they fell out because Maresca, who's a good manager, who's won the Club World Cup, he's got a group of players together, has turned around and said, you know what, I've had enough of all this old rubbish, the medical team telling me that I can only play Cole Palmer for 60 minutes, and I'm getting it in the neck from the fans saying you don't know what you're doing, when it's the medical team is saying that you're only allowed to play him for so long. He's getting dug out because Reece James played 3 games on the bounce, who's best player, and all of a sudden he's, oh no, you can't do that, can't play Reece James every game because he's not fit enough. Like, so he's had enough of it all. He's questioned it, and he said, you know what, I want some of my own players in January. I want to bring in someone like him or someone like him. And they go, oh, no, you just coach the team. So Maresca's gone, you know what, I've had enough of this. So what are you going to do? Chelsea bringing me a yes man. Do you think the Chelsea fans are going to accept having a yes man as their manager?
Well, first of all, I don't think Liam Rosenior is a yes man.
He's a yes man.
Forthright.
He's a yes man.
I'm not sure you've met him to be able to take that opinion because he's quite spiky, he's quite forthright, and even in
he's getting the Chelsea job because he's going to shut his mouth.
Recruitment.
He's going to get the Chelsea job because he's going to put up and shut up. That's why he's getting.
I'm not so sure about that.
That's why he's getting a job.
Time will tell, but people said that about Maresca when he joined. I mean, my question to you, Jason, because you're more informed than I am, Jason, I think the sort of starting premise is if Maresca is a Chelsea manager now when he leaves, did you think he was a Chelsea manager when he joined? And if you're saying...
I'm in the same opinion. Jay and I were talking about this earlier. If you listen to any Leicester fan when Chelsea signed, they said it'd be a failure, right? Well, he hasn't been a failure. He actually done very well. And I think he probably done as well as he possibly could. Got us fourth into the Champions League last season. Finished above media darlings of Eddie Howe at that particular time. People say he spent $1 billion. Truth is, he got us there, okay? And he managed not only to get us into fourth position above Newcastle and Aston Villa. won us the Conference League, right? Should we won it? Yeah. Still done it. Club World Champion. Still got us there. We're 5th, by the way. We're not 11th. We're 5th. He's done all right. But if that relationship was broken down, I think it's healthy for everyone. You move on. December was a disaster. Yeah, you can't dress it up. It was an absolute disaster. Now, I don't know what Liam Rosenior is going to do. What I do know is that Liam Rosenior has been put in place, and it was part of it's happened too soon, but Liam Rosenior was brought in, and he was at Bluecoat. This was planned. It's happened too quickly. I don't think anyone at Chelsea expected this to happen right now. Because you go back to the beginning of December.
Do you think Liam Rosenior is good enough to take the Chelsea?
I don't know, Jay, any more than you do.
Yeah, but do you think he's good enough?
I don't know any more than you do.
Okay.
No, Jay, we don't know.
No, but no.
You could. I know what you're saying, right?
I know you don't know, but you've been in football for 25, 30 years.
Yeah, longer than
that. Right? You know football. Right? You know how football's run. You know, you look at decisions that get made, like Ange going to Nottingham Forest, like Wilfred Nancy going to Celtic. You know, you look at this.
We're all wise after the event,
and you go, that ain't going to work. In your expert opinion, because that's what you are. You're an expert, Jace.
Yeah.
Do you think Liam Rosenior is good enough to be the Chelsea manager?
It doesn't feel right, okay? I'll admit it doesn't feel right, and it does with Liam Rosenior, right? I don't watch enough of French football, right? I remember everyone saying, myself included, Keith Andrews at Brentford, yeah? Is he good enough? First managerial job. Actually, he's done all right. And I think that there is a point of saying, right, I think you have to trust what they're doing. They're the ones in control.
I've got no trust. No one trusts the Chelsea board. No one. What? No one trusts at Chelsea.
What do you mean no one trusts it?
The fans don't trust the board. They're protesting.
Yeah, right, okay, right. I get why they protest. I understand it because things have gone from. But listen, there for the grace of God go out. Roman Abramovich came in, totally different ownership model, completely different to how things are run. All right, and we are used to winning. They ain't done. It's not as bad as everyone says. I don't think it's not as bad as everyone says. Club World Champ. You can mock it all you like. No one expected us to win that. No one. I didn't think that we finished 4th last season. We did. We ended up doing all right.
Done a great job.
Say again?
Maresca done a great job.
The club with Maresca.
Maresca done a great job.
And the club, I think, okay, yes. But the club, some of the signings, right, that he's bought, that the club have bought in, they've done all right. Some haven't. Some, there's a big fear that Chelsea are going to flip players, like what we've seen with Jackson and what we've seen with Noni Madueke, right? I don't know how that's going to play out any more than you do. But right now, to be 5th, and I think the Leroy Rosenior is coming in there's a squad of players in there that in December underachieved. All right? Now, I don't know any more than you do, Jay. Leroy Rosenior being Chelsea manager, sorry, that's his dad. Liam Rosenior, I do apologise. But it doesn't feel right, no. But I've got to tell you what, from what, this has been in place, it's happened too quick. It's happened too quick. But they play the same system. They are his boss, by the way, the same owners.
No, I know.
I'll have to wait and see how it goes out. I'm used to seeing top-of-the-range managers, like you mentioned there, Conte. I'm used to Chelsea winning Champions Leagues, winning Premier League. It's a different football club right now. And I think we just, as a Chelsea fan, I have to sit there and wait and see how things are played out. The last 18 months have been better than any Chelsea fan really could have envisaged. I think 4th in the league. That matters.
You spent £1 billion, Jace.
But the squad's not built.
But
it's not, Jace.
You keep saying, it might not. It's not being
built to challenge the title.
It's not built to win the Premier League.
No, it's not.
It's built to finish 4th.
It is built to finish 4th. You're right.
Okay,
yes.
That's where you are.
That's fine then. So we're par.
Oh, yeah, but come
5th. No, but Jay, come on. What do you mean, come on?
Because it ain't. Come on. You're talking about Chelsea here. Yeah. They're a massive football club.